then finally, we have the confirmation of the fact that Saul is going to be king in the episode with the Ammonites. Now, how weird was that? Nahash, the ruler of the Ammonites, comes in. Nahash means snake. So snake, the leader of the Ammonite gang, comes to town, and this is pretty reasonable. Okay, you all, you're going to be our slaves from now on, and then I'm going to gouge out the right eye of every man. So form a line right here, and let's get going. Apparently, he'd already done it, according to scrolls found at Qumran, that he had already done it to two other tribes, to the Gadites and the Reubenites. And they had stood in line and submitted. But the people, the men of Jabesh Gilead, say to Nahash, what? Can you just wait a second? You know, we're going to go around and see if anybody can help us. But they know exactly who they're going to go to. Why? Because somebody had just been picked as king. So he's the one who's supposed to, quote, save the people, right? So they go straight and make a beeline for him. And they go in and they say to Saul. Now Saul was coming from the field behind the oxen, and Saul said, what ails the people that they are weeping? So they told him the tidings of the men of Jabesh, and the Spirit of God came mightily upon God when he heard these words, and his anger was greatly kindled. And then he did what all of us would have done. He took the yoke of oxen, cut it into pieces, and sent them throughout the territory of Israel. That's just what we would have done, right? What's the point here? The point is he's sending a message. He's sending a very sort of primitive, sort of anger-driven message to all the tribes to say, I'm in charge now, and it shall be to the Ammonites as it is to these oxen. Okay? It's kind of like a prophetic action. Okay? So he engages the Ammonites after, of course, this little bit of gruesome blackmail. And, you know, in a way, Nahash being the leader of the Ammonites is kind of a giveaway, because the Ammonites and later the Amalekites in this lesson will really stand in for Satan, for the evil one, for the evil adversary, for the unreasoning evil who comes in making unreasonable evil demands and just bent on destruction. Okay? That's important. You should file this away for later. The Ammonites and the Amalekites both kind of represent the evil that the people of God are facing in the land, because that will mean a lot. If we understand the Amalekites and the Ammonites that way, that will help us, that will go a long way to help us understand God's direction to Saul to put the Amalekites under the ban. That is, to destroy utterly the representatives of evil, to not tolerate evil within your borders, and the same thing with the Ammonites. So that there's a great victory over the Ammonites, and Saul is crowned for real in front of the people, and he chooses Gibeah as his stronghold.